is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up, everybody? Episode 129? Yeah, 129. I'm Jake. That's Tyler.
How's it going today? It's post Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
2 days removed when we're recording this, so this will be up on
How's your
Thursday.
how's your Christmas, buddy?
Great. Pretty low key, as the kids say. Yeah, it's weird saying that when you're 30. No, it was fun.
Yeah.
I saw my mom on Saturday.
Mhm.
We're gonna see my mother-in-law and father-in-law, the in-laws, for New Year's. That's how we're gonna celebrate Christmas on New Year's. That's what we usually do. Sometimes
That's cool.
we kind of
Works,
alternated around.
works.
But no, it was fun because it was just me and my little family, and I love being around family. But I think what really makes Christmas special to me is spending time with your immediate family. Like, yes, you should spend time with your cousins and your aunts and uncles.
I
but
think
like
when you're you're growing up and you're still in high school and you might have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, you get to college and stuff, and until you get married and like have your own kids and whatnot, like those big family gatherings are where it's at, but then you get a girlfriend when you're like 18, you're like, oh, I want to spend like time alone with that person or whatever, and that's kind of a goal almost, is like, okay, well, now I get to spend time like at my house with my family and just kind of just hang out on a holiday, and like that's always fun.
how was your Christmas, bud?
Did the same thing. We had a lot of people over, and we had my brother and his wife travel, my sister-in-law travel quite a bit, and they met another couple like in their travels, and they've been friends for like a lot of years, and they happen to be kind of traveling cross country over the holiday season, and we got to spend time with them, and that was cool, learning about another culture. They're from Taiwan, so that was really fun. And they were really, to me, like Christmas is like having a lot of people over, and like just like, hey, not necessarily like only those who are invited or whatever, it's like, hey, there's people that don't have any place to go, or they're far away from their own families, or maybe don't celebrate Christmas like these folks or whatever. And like when I was in high school, my mom worked at a retail place downtown Iowa City, and there was we had University of Iowa, so there's a lot of kids who couldn't go home for the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And she always had a standing thing with all the kids that she worked with, like, hey, if you're unable to go home for the holidays, we have a big house, come over. And we always, for 4 or 5 years when I was growing up, we always had like 2 or 3 random college kids over who just had nowhere else to go. And it was really, that kind of taught me something about the spirit of the holidays, because not everybody, I mean, you don't want people spending Thanksgiving alone or Christmas alone. It's just nice to see. It's nice to experience other people and to see that fun stuff.
I've been watching a lot of stuff over the Christmas holiday.
I watched a lot of L.A. Law.
Dude,
that's my long box.
The last week and a half of like from Christmas to New Year's is such a weird blur of time, because it's the end of the year. It's Christmas. It's the end of the year. It's the new year. All this other stuff. Yeah. So like I like.
Well, I'm going on vacation at the end of this week, so it's kind of like.
It's like a weekend getaway. It's not.
Dude, it's a vacation. You want to know why? Because I get to drive somewhere by myself. I don't have to spend time with anybody.
So on Friday, I watched Barbie.
Nice.
Liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. I think that people that were like throwing it, saying it was anti-man or saying it was like against men, I don't think watched the same movie I did, because if you cannot take,
it seems to me like it's a lot of satire.
If you are a man and can't take the little jokes that happens when Ken takes over
Yeah.
Barbie Land. Like, if you can't laugh at that, then I don't know what to do to tell you, man.
To be honest, that sounds like the term alpha can't be used
I
to
think
describe
people
you.
forget-
If you're upset by movies by jokes made in a movie about a
doll,
toy,
a freaking doll,
then you're not an alpha anymore. No matter what you tell yourself
people
or
don't-
what your bros tell you.
And people don't want to talk about the fact that it was written by her and her husband. Like, Noah Baumbach co-wrote the script. So it was a man and a woman wrote this movie, and
From the previews and everything, like I said, it just
I
seems like
think it
really
does- I
biting
think
satire.
well, here's the thing. I think it does a good job of deconstructing gender itself and like what that means, and it also takes jabs at how women manipulate men.
Yeah.
Like there's like in the movie, and it's used for comedy, and it is funny, and it's like
Just like most comedies that I've ever seen.
yes, it's a comedy about gender, and I don't know. I think it happens to be also be about a doll.
You want to know why?
Dude, Will Ferrell is funny, like so funny in this as Mr. Mattel. Like,
You want to know
he's
why
like-
it's so people got so flipped out about it? Is that it's the satire is so on point.
yeah,
If it wasn't that good, then people would have gotten so upset. So I mean, it did its job.
Also, I think
you
it's
know?
funny that there's the Lego Movie and Barbie, both movies. Will Ferrell is kind of the villain. Well, he's kind of more of a. I don't necessarily think he's evil in Barbie. He's just kind of a doofus in that, and it's just he's always been good at playing the dumb, silly character. And these aren't long boxes. I was just talking about the things I watched. I saw Merry Little Batman on Christmas.
Okay.
I just
Hated
don't.
it.
No, I enjoyed it a
Or did
lot.
you? What was it? What is the hell are you talking about?
So Merry Little Batman is an animated movie that originally was supposed to go on HBO Max, but Zaslav and his infinite wisdom sold it off to Amazon. So Merry Little Batman is on Amazon Prime.
I didn't know that. Should have told me.
And
I
it's
would've
super quick, man. It's like 90 minutes. It's a fun holiday movie. It's a funny Batman movie, and it's like what we talked about like when we talked about during that Godzilla episode with your brother, where like it again showcases a different element of the character, and it harkens back to the sillier stuff because there's so many silly Batman stories out there. Like
It's more like The Brave and the Bold is what you're saying.
yeah, Brave and the Bold.
That show is awesome. by the way.
I think it has a little bit of inspiration from like the '60s Batman, a little bit,
Of course.
but it's very distinctly its own thing, and its art style is weird. When I was watching it with Ashley, I was like, it feels like a book. It feels like a children's book, but it's a very distinct style, and I love that we're in this era of animation where they're taking chances, where they can mix up styles and do different things, and it really did feel like I was reading a children's book. But the dialogue is funny. It's actually like a good, silly, fun, heartfelt Batman story, and it's a shame that Warner Brothers didn't keep it. But
Is it?
But well, and now this is the weird thing about it. It already has spawned a spinoff. So there's going to be a show they're going to do on Amazon Prime called Bat Family. Again, that could have been a slam dunk for you, Warner. And I'm sure they're probably making a good amount of money off of Amazon because Amazon also paid for Cape Crusader and like all that. But
What's Cape Crusader?
it's the Bruce Timm animated show that's coming out. It's
Why aren't you telling me about this stuff?
I told you we've talked about it on the show
What?
months ago. It's an adult version of the animated. It's like an adult continuation of the animated series.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Merry Little Batman was a lot of fun.
Cool.
And then of course we'll talk about What If. But have you seen anything you watched over the holidays?
I watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed
if you
Reindeer
wanna-
7 times in a row.
Oh, nice.
Yukon Cornelius is without a doubt the greatest character ever created in fiction.
Quick question: Is there one
Better than Jesus.
Is there one Christmas movie you have to watch? Like it's like a tradition every year. You watch this
I
movie.
feel like for me, I have to watch Rudolph. It's not technically a movie. I mean, it is a movie. It's a TV movie.
It's
I
a
guess.
classic.
But it's only like 60.
Yeah, it was
2
a
minutes or
TV
something.
It's a TV
Yeah.
special.
So you couldn't really call it a movie. But I have the last like every year when Christmas comes around, that's what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
That was the
So, like-
show, because when I was a little kid, it would come on like a certain time of a certain night during the holiday season, and I always wanted to be there to watch it. My mom always made sure, because we had to use like TV Guide and shit.
Oh yeah.
back then.
When I was growing up, it was always like
But
the
they had the
first
CBS special,
Saturday.
like the
yeah.
the rainbow special,
Yeah.
like spinning. Is that what I'm talking about?
I don't think it had it when I was growing up, but
Oh.
when I was growing up, it was like, okay, this first Saturday after the SEC championship
Right, something
game,
like it was,
yeah.
whatever. And obviously, when I was growing up, college sports was not nearly what it is now. So there probably
Well,
wasn't.
and then they started realizing we could sell it on DVD and Blu-ray and
Right,
streaming
yeah, and I have it on. I've owned it a couple times on DVD. But the main thing is that it kind of. I think I might start doing Muppet Christmas Carol every year now. I finally watched that. I don't know if I'd ever seen it or if it's just been so long since I saw it that I couldn't remember it.
I watched that. I'm pretty sure like Ashley has like 2 that she watches every year, so by association I watch it. So, well, it's a combination, but almost every year it's been White Christmas.
Which was that?
The Bing Crosby one where
Oh.
they're not the Holiday Inn. You made the face. Not that's White Christmas has no blackface in it.
No, that surprises me. I
But you
don't
knew that
watch
Holiday
really
Inn.
old movies.
I will say this was probably like we've been together 10 years. It's
Mhm.
probably been like the 9th or 10th time I've watched it. And I am kind of surprised at how witty and quick the dialogue is for a movie made in like 1954. But hey, It's a Wonderful Life, not every year, but that's in one of the rotations. Jingle All the Way, I have to watch every year, and I've already talked to Ed
You already
Nelson.
talked about that.
So yes, I watched that, and The Grinch is another one. Jim Carrey's Grinch from 2000. I watched that.
I
every
might
year.
try and watch the cartoon Grinch, but it's not nearly what I remember it to be, ever.
Yeah, it's only like 30
Rudolph
minutes.
Rudolph is the only thing, which is still they still add a bunch of shit that ain't in the book. When was the last time you read The Grinch?
Yeah, it's super short.
Right, it's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, that's all of Dr.
like 10
Seuss's
pages.
shit, man. Yeah. Tell me how we got a feature-length movie out of fucking Cat in the Hat.
Oh, we got it out of fucking Mike Myers' fucking butthole.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
No, so Rudolph is the one that I watch. I had a girlfriend who every year would watch Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I don't know if you've heard of that or not, but I've actually talked to many people since then, and this was like 10 years ago in Ohio, but I've talked to many people since then who also have a thing. And I didn't want to watch that, even though it is really good. Like when she made me watch it the first Christmas we spent or whatever, I was like, oh my God, that's really good. And so we did watch it the 3 years we were together every Christmas.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there and I had nothing to do on Saturday or on Monday. And so I put on, I think I was just on Disney Plus kind of looking around, and I put on the Muppets Christmas Carol because I read a tweet a couple weeks ago about like how Michael Caine just fucking kills it in that movie, and he does.
Well, because
He totally does.
The urban legend that I've heard is that he didn't treat them as puppets. He treated them as actors.
That's
he played it serious, dead serious.
right. Well, I actually have read his book, What's It All About? So what's it all about then? Is it So What's It All About then?
It sounds
It's
like
his
a Beastie
auto-
Boys song.
It's his autobiography, but he
what's it all
talks
about?
about the Muppet Christmas Carol, and he talks about how he did. He
did
wanted
play it straight. Yeah.
he wanted to treat it like any other acting job. Like these are my co-stars, da 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 da, and you can tell it comes through in the performance. But
Because it makes you play into it. It makes if he's taking that serious and believing in that world, then
I
you will
wanted to
too.
watch. I wanted to watch a Christmas movie that was kind of silly and featured puppets, kind of like Emmett Otter. I don't know why, but I just put it on and I built like I bought like a shitload of Legos. I by the way, after
We should move on, but yeah.
it was good, but it was a good movie, so I think I'm gonna add that to the rotation. I have something to say about Legos after whatever.
Maybe we'll fit it in at the end.
Great.
Let's get into the.
Thanks for letting me maybe get a part of the show.
Well, I was gonna do a cool intro, but you stepped all over it.
What was cool?
Well, what I was gonna do was to talk about some news.
Go ahead.
I just did it.
Oh.
But see, again, you did it. Time for news.
It's time for news. Get your head out of your ass, because I'm telling you some fucking news.
Wow. Jeez, dude.
Shit, yeah.
So Aquaman 2, let's talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Goddamn news.
I almost saw this Saturday night, but
the movie?
yeah. But we didn't.
We
decided
Are
against
we supposed to or something? Me and you?
No, I was going to see it with Luke cuz
Okay.
I was in town.
Right.
Him and I were hanging out and
Fair. I had to
we were
work
going to do
Saturday,
it,
yeah.
but schedules didn't
Fuck, we
align.
kind of fucked that up. We should have watched it. We should have
I
done
don't
it for
care.
the show.
I'm going to be completely I don't care.
I know.
I just don't
Me neither.
care.
Me
Because I'm so Warner Brothers, they ruined all of it because they made it seem so insignificant by forcing the announcement of the DCU. So now you're telling me this means nothing. Because you're probably going to have a new Aquaman, you're definitely going to be starting a whole new universe in another year, which I do excuse me. I do appreciate that they released it this year.
Mhm.
So then we get a year off and then 2025 will be Superman.
Well, they released it this year to make sure it shows up on the tax returns
sure,
for next year.
Of course. And they thought that maybe a Christmas
'Cause people
weekend could help it.
People in charge of entertainment aren't running Warner Brothers anymore. It's a bunch of fucking accountants.
And they'll be lucky if a movie makes. What the fuck?
What the fuck? $1 million, bitch.
$1 million, bitch.
That was pretty close. Keep it going.
Start over.
Oh,
Cut
come
the
on.
tape.
Come on.
129 episodes. We still can't get it together.
Boring.
So,
I would have done sloppy.
you know what?
Sloppy.
I am.
You were eating ice cream again.
Yep. So Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom didn't have a great weekend.
Mm.
Debuted at 38.3 million domestically.
Over the Christmas weekend?
And The Color Purple beat it on Christmas Day. Which I get that it's a Monday, but there's still a lot of people that weren't working on Tuesday. And I feel like, yeah.
I
So
didn't
it
think
made
about going to a fucking movie on Monday.
It made a lot more money internationally, so it made 118.4 worldwide.
Well, the NFL had
4
3
million.
games on Monday too, so
True.
you got to take that into. You have to.
The
take that
NBA had
into
3
account.
games. The NFL had 3 games.
Fuck the NBA. The NFL had 3
no,
games.
listen. It's always been an NBA thing.
Right.
And the NFL stole it. No, but yeah, there's tons of sports on.
I'm saying
and it was just Christmas is always a competitive weekend.
right.
Because
But what I'm saying
people
is
need entertainment.
that for the first time ever on a Christmas day, they had NFL games. So
Right.
that would have cut in even more on top of the NBA. I don't know. I don't know anybody who is like, cool, Christmas Day, NBA games. Like, I don't. Maybe it's just people I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I mean,
a lot of people who like the NBA.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think it's. But you're
'Cause I
right.
give two
when the
shits.
NFL does something, it kind of takes over everything.
Yeah. Sorry, NBA.
But I mean, this kind of is an encapsulation of the whole year for 2023. Like, when you think of the box office stories of the year, it is the Barbenheimer phenomenon, where Barbie makes all that money, Oppenheimer makes a bunch of money, but you see things like the Marvels, and you see things like Blue Beetle and The Flash.
No, I didn't.
The Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the most successful movie of the year,
Yeah.
and it had legs. Like, it was a box office juggernaut. And you look at the other ones, and you see it's just I don't know what
It was okay.
We've talked about this a lot,
I wasn't-
so I
it
don't want to
wasn't my
rehash
favorite
old
movie.
things, but I think it's we're in a weird spot where it's like I truly think people are being very selective
Mm-hmm.
because of the economy. And you and I have talked about it. I don't like going to the movie theaters much anymore because I'm sick of all the ads and the.
It's like a 2-year thing, twice a year thing, honestly. And
It has to be something I really want to see. And then my wife makes fun of me because she's like, "Well, but then you want to go see the Iron Claw?" And I was like, "I want to see that damn movie." Okay.
That's a rental or streamer.
Yeah, but I'm more into pro wrestling than you are, obviously. But regardless, no, I understand what
Oh,
you
I'm
mean.
sorry. Did you meet shit, I forgot his name. I can't really name drop somebody if I can't remember their
What,
name.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Yeah, did you meet him?
Woo, yeah, woo, yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I hung out with him.
Yeah. Well,
We hung out.
What?
you hung out? Why are you staring at me?
So
You're staring into myself. I know Hacksaw. You met him one time. I know him.
no, but it's like a it's like a 2-year, it's like a twice a year thing, and like it's got to be.
It has to be something I really want to see.
I know it's stupid, but I started going. I don't know if it's just the socials that I don't do as much as I used to, but I literally have no problem avoiding spoilers, like at all. And that was the impetus behind me wanting to go to everything. Star Wars, all the Marvel movies, the first fucking weekend, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot get past this weekend because
I was
I
the
need
same
to
way.
before. Now,
had to
dude,
see it opening
I am
weekend.
so fucking far away from spoilers. I don't know if it's just I'm just not following the same people. I don't know. But I don't have the problem anymore. So that being said, I don't need to see movies the opening weekend. And honestly, the way as much as it
Do a
sucks,
matinee, like
I don't need to fucking go at all.
yeah. If you
Fuck
really,
it.
But here's the thing, there's one time that I went to the movie theater by myself, and I would say going to a movie by yourself is a totally different experience.
I went to movie theater by myself for what was it this year? Fuck. It was
Indiana Jones.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun.
I saw Multiverse of Madness at like a 10 a.m.
I
showing.
thought we saw it.
No, I saw it at like 10 a.m. on a Friday morning.
Did we not see it?
No, we didn't. That was one of them we didn't see together. But what I was saying about that is like
That's right. Yeah, I remember.
I don't feel you and I should be we should have saw this, we should have reviewed it, whatever. But we don't care enough to. And I'm sure the movie, like I've seen nothing but bad things, and I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot because I love DC, but it's like I don't care to see it in the theater. I just don't. And Luke wanted to see it. I was like, sure, I'll go see it.
And
Like,
truth to tell, this past the Marvels was the first time in a while that I wouldn't have wanted the ending spoiled. The whole X-Men shit at the end of the Marvels.
yeah.
That was the first time in like 8 movies, I swear, that there was an end credits scene that I was like, "Oh damn, I'm glad nobody told me about that."
Yeah.
To be honest, right? Can you remember the one before that?
Yeah.
Every other one has just been like a final joke from that movie, or something innocuous like, before that it was Eternals. I think was the last one before that was like, ooh.
Yeah, at this point, I think I'm just waiting for it to come to HBO Max and then in a couple months come to Netflix because Warner Brothers is selling off all their shit. Speaking of Warner Brothers, by the way, I want to throw this in. They are not merging with Paramount. That was released like the next I want to say Saturday. Like ours went up on. I keep saying like our episode went up on Friday. I think that news came out on Saturday, like right before Christmas. That
Yeah, I remember that.
Paramount
You
is not merging with Warner Brothers.
You told me that. I do have.
So another loss for
I
Warner
did
Brothers.
write.
By the way.
I did before. I didn't tell you this, but I wrote out a. Where the fuck is it? I wrote out this really long and scathing takedown of Warner Brothers. While I was working the other night, and I'd like to read it on the air if that's okay with you.
Well,
Is that
before
okay?
you do that, I wanted to talk about the Batman, and then we can wrap up. Warner
It's
Brothers.
actually not going to take that long if you're cool with that.
Oh,
Yeah, let me just find it in my notebook here. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff in this notebook here. This took me like 6 hours. I had to find exactly the right words. But I think it's I'm really proud of it because I use a lot of imagery to describe exactly what Warner Brothers is doing to themselves
Mhm.
and to the. You ready?
When you wrote it, were you on?
Crack cocaine.
At least.
Of course.
That's at least one of the things I was on.
Sure.
Okay. So you ready for my scathing
it's-
satirical takedown?
Brilliant.
Thanks, Paul Giamatti.
Fuck Warner Brothers. Yeah. Okay.
Think of the fucking comedy.
6 hours.
Took you 6 hours to write that,
Dude, that was biting satire, dude.
So
All right, that was like Barbie level.
Tyler, it's time to take a trip to the rumor mill.
Did you like it? Did you like how I had props for that really lame joke?
Mm.
Even though you can't
I
say
can't
it?
believe I let you go with that. But anyway, rumor mill. Ow.
I can't believe I let you do that again.
So there's some rumors
Ow.
flown about the Batman Part 2, which
You shut your mouth.
before we even get to that, it is not. It was also confirmed once again that it is separate of the DCU.
Yeah,
and
well, we knew that.
It was Matt Reeves' choice to keep it Elseworlds. So I guess James Gunn was maybe trying to get Robert Pattinson to be the Batman of that universe, but I'm fine with them being separate.
To be honest, if I'm James Gunn, I wouldn't.
I would let the man cook. I would let Matt Reeves cook because the Batman was really good.
No, I'm saying like not saying Robert Pattinson isn't a good Bruce Wayne Batman. I'm saying that for my Batman in the one that I'm creating, if I'm James Gunn in the world that I'm creating, I want a different type of Batman. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
Yeah.
want the Batman that appears in that movie. Or does that make
start
sense?
fresh, have your own.
Yeah.
And audiences are smart enough now to understand that they're separate things.
To be honest, if I'm making the DCEU, my Batman's gonna have a little blue in his suit. All right, motherfucker. Yeah.
yeah.
Little
So
blue,
first,
little gray.
so this first rumor could be true. It says that the Batman Part 2 is set to start filming in March. Because I think it's supposed to be out October 2025.
So I hate to ask, but who's the villain?
Well, there's some rumors. Some rumors are floating around that Clayface is in this movie. There's rumors that Hush would be in it. And there's also rumors that Dick Grayson will be in the sequel. But James Gunn has come out to say that is all false.
Okay.
So
when
thank goodness.
when we had Batman or Tim Burton's Batmans did something to movies and superhero movies in particular that has carried over to now. It's a little less, but it's still a big part of it, and that is who's the villain. You know, in Batman came out, it was the Joker. Okay,
Yeah.
and then the next one was they tried to fit in two, Penguin and Catwoman. And then there was two in the third one, which was Two-Face and the Riddler. And then in the fourth one, it was Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. But for a long time, especially in sequels, you know, who's the villain? Who's the villain? Because we know that the hero's coming back, right? So who's the villain? And I hated to ask that because it was such a cliche, like, who's the villain? You know, same thing with Spider-Man. It's Green Goblin, and then it's Doc Ock, and then it's, you know what I mean?
Venom and Sandman and
Yeah.
Hobgoblin. They're what they call Hobgoblin. Yeah. And
Whatever.
so I'm glad this is false because I'm in a weird thing with it because I don't.
Clayface seems like too far-fetched for this version of Batman.
Honestly, but that's the thing.
At least if you're going for like
but
the
to
big
me-
clay
to me, that's interesting.
monster.
To me, that's interesting because they've already done their own spin on Riddler, where it is still Riddler, but it's a darker.
Well, they've already
More
introduced a
twisted.
Joker too, which is just why.
Or you can. The thing with that ending though, with that scene being deleted out, and then having that ending in Arkham, you could do that, or you could save them for the third movie, or just don't do them at all.
Yeah,
And-
thank you.
But the Clayface thing I wish would have been true. Because I thought they could do something interesting with the character and something because we've never seen a live action Clayface.
No, we haven't. Well, how would you do him? Because there's like 7 different
But
versions
yeah,
of the
that's
character.
what I mean. There's an interesting way to do it where you could play up his abilities. There's
a straight
like,
up spy version, which is just he's an actor and he knows how to use disguise as well. Then
mean-
there's the dude who like has
but you
superpowers
could-
and has
you
clay,
could-
is made of clay.
You could make that work in the worlds that Matt Reeves built. I think you could. I think
A
there's a way
dude
to
made
do
of clay?
But you just use the shape shifting more of the disguise of him trying to fit in and being kind of like an infiltrator.
Well, I believe
And
that
then he
Matt
gets-
Reeves could make a movie with Clayface as the villain, but using only practical means to, you know what I mean? Like, he could make a movie
He's got to be wet.
real
It's-
quick during that first scene in the Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman. It takes you a second to realize that you're looking at the Riddler. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was fucking creepy as fuck, dude. It was like, holy shit. That was one of my favorite parts of that movie. I might have to watch it when I get home.
Nice.
But I think you know, the type of filmmaker he is, he could make a movie where, you know, you go through half the movie and that character is like in every scene, but you don't know it. Because in every scene, like an actual actor is just dressing up differently or whatever.
Yeah.
Or do you remember when Tom Cruise was doing Collateral? And to prove to Michael Mann that he could be like anonymous or whatever, he went on a 2-day thing as a UPS guy. He did his own disguise and everything, and he proved to Michael Mann that Tom Cruise, one of the biggest fucking movie stars in the world, could walk around delivering UPS packages as a UPS guy and nobody would recognize him.
Yeah.
And he did it. So I think Matt Reeves could do that. Like, you know what I mean? That would be a cool way to do it. Like, half the movie, you don't know who he is.
But
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could totally, and he's great at mysteries and fucking, you know, thrillers and you know, those twists and whatnot. I think Matt Reeves could really, you're right. If you did just like an actor who's really good at like makeup and prosthetics and shit, Matt Reeves could do some real damage with that character, I think. But if it's truly not true anymore, like James Gunn says.
Yeah. I'm imagining they're going to probably do something with Joker in some capacity.
Fuck off.
I would really not want Dick. And another thing where
Who played him again?
Barry Kogan.
Right. Yeah, the dude from Eternals.
Yeah. If I'm James Gunn, I'm glad he stepped in and said that's not true, because I don't think Dick Grayson would have been in this movie. I think this Batman's too young to have a Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Plus they're doing the Brave and the Bold in the DCU, and it's gonna be more like Grant Morrison's run, which was like 2009. I think that would avoid confusion. So we'll see what happens. I am interested in what they're gonna do with this movie and how you follow that up, with what they did in that first movie, and I don't know. It should be interesting. I'm glad that they're not doing this much, because that seems way too much for something like that for this movie. Because I mean,
What?
Penguin's still out there. We don't know what's gonna happen with that Penguin show, which they are insisting is going to be coming out soon.
Are they still talking about the Green Lantern fucking show too?
When is that coming? Yeah.
Fuck.
Come on,
Come on, Cohagen.
DC.
Get your ass to Mars.
That's right.
That's right.
So what's next?
What's next? None of your business.
Wow.
Last bit of news before we get into the what if reviews.
That rhymed.
Yeah. Amazon Prime is pissing me off. So Amazon Prime will be adding ads on January 29th, and to skip the ads, it'll cost you an additional $2.99 a month.
Suck it.
So some people might look at this and say it's only $3 more a month, and I get that, and that's fine. But listen,
On top of the $90 that I'm already
How
paying for
many
all the other
times?
fucking streaming services.
how many times have we said on this podcast, streaming is the new cable, and this is more proof? Because now every fucking streaming service has a goddamn ad tier, and it's frustrating. Because the whole point of this, and the whole reason we did this, is because we didn't want to keep getting fucking nickeled and dimed. Amazon Prime, you're paying $100 a year, and then you're gonna add another $3 a month on that because you don't want to have ads on a service you're paying for.
Right. And can I also stress that I have Always. I have never been on the ad-free tier of Hulu.
No. Why would you?
And to be really honest, it's not that big of a fucking deal. I don't mind ads. I'm not going to pay that extra amount.
On principle, it pisses me off.
We shouldn't have to pay. We shouldn't have to see ads.
If it's something like
and we
Pluto,
shouldn't have to pay to not have them. You're right.
If it's something like Pluto
Right.
or Tubi or Crackle or these free streaming,
Yes.
that's fine. I
Yes.
understand that.
Because you're not paying for it. They have
Sure.
to make their revenue
Have-
somewhere.
Exactly.
But you're a streaming service.
YouTube.
I'm already paying a fucking
YouTube, I don't pay.
YouTube.
YouTube Premium, I don't pay for it. I
Perfect.
paid for it for a period of time. I don't do it
perfect
anymore.
example. Yeah.
I don't mind there's ads there because it's a free service.
Perfect
but
example.
if I'm fucking paying for Netflix and HBO and Hulu
Yeah.
and Prime, I'm paying you a monthly fee.
Right.
I am not fucking paying more because you want to put ads into something that I'm already
Yeah,
paying
so you
for.
can make more money.
Because we have talked about it a billion times on this show, and this is a problem with capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Get
You
mad
don't
at me.
have eno-
Get mad at me for
You don't-
criticizing a shitty system all you want. Jake's the kumbaya socialist. But listen, this is proof of fucking late stage capitalism once again biting us in the ass because it knows it's unsustainable.
Right.
You can only have so many fucking
There's-
people sign up.
There's only so many fucking mouths to fucking cram
Now
shit
you know we're
into.
angry because we keep saying the F word.
Well, there's only so many mouths
Sure.
that you can cram shit into.
they
and
gotta
that
find
includes
ways
food
to make more
and
money.
clothes and toys and all this other shit. I look around at the toy department at the place I work and I'm like, how the fuck is this sustainable? How is all of this like shit? There are so many fucking different brands and so many different. I have no idea how anybody makes money in this fucking world at all, and that's why I don't make any money. Because if I knew how people would
Clearly,
make
nobody-
money, I would be making that money and not sitting around in this guy's basement. I mean,
yeah.
we'd be in my basement at my house because I'd have a house because I'd have money.
Get your ass to Moss.
But still, I was done.
Yeah. No, and look,
But it's just
you
just
can,
not. Yeah.
and you can say to me like, Jake, you know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, pay the extra $3. No, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay that.
I'm
money.
sorry. I'm not going to pay a $1 billion fucking corporation like Amazon any more money than we already pay.
And guess what? Every time the commercials come on, I mute it and do something else until the commercials are over.
But on principle alone, I cannot fucking do that. I'm so sick of this shit.
I get you.
What's the point? What is the point of this? Why? Because,
What
like we said, because you have to find ways to make more
What
money
I'm
off
saying-
and milk
right.
my teat.
Exactly. What I'm saying though is that's how I fight back against this bullshit. I don't watch your fucking ads that you fucking make your money off of. So fuck
I've
off.
already made the decision. Starting this new year, I'm going to make some thinking about budget and things I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cutting out HBO Max. There's no reason for me to have it. I'm getting rid of it unless we decide to bring back Drawn to DC and we start doing that again. Until then, I'm not using it because they're already showing they don't give a shit and they're selling off all their properties. So
Mm-hmm.
almost all the DC, like a bunch of DC movies are on fucking Netflix now,
Mm.
and it's gonna and like Merry Little Batman and that show and all this other stuff. So I'm probably gonna cut that out. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna get a bigger shelf and buy more fucking Blu-rays because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of letting them. Who cares?
Look, I'll just say.
I will have streaming services,
I get
but
you.
I'm only gonna have
Look,
a few. I'm not doing this anymore.
Can I just slow your roll a second here?
Your time isn't as valuable. Whatever.
I totally get. Oh, my time is not as valuable.
No, what I was trying to say is a streaming service for me.
Fuck you.
You were saying you are vying for my time.
Where's the boo?
And I'll let you talk.
Just 'cause I have no life.
I'll let you talk. I'll finish my point.
A couple weeks ago, the power went out. We had a power outage, and then it took a while for the Wi-Fi to come back on, right? And while the Wi-Fi's out, I can't watch shit on streaming. But I have a DVD, I have a Blu-ray player hooked up to my TV, so I'm like, okay, I'll flip it over. I went and looked at my movie selection. I got like 4 or 5 that I wanted to watch. But you know what I really didn't want to do is take a fucking disc out and put it in the fucking machine, and then you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that. So I ended up reading a book instead until the Wi-Fi came back on. That's how lazy I am. So I love your idea, but are you really actually going to put it into practice? Because honestly, when I'm sitting around at home, I just want to have the TV on. It sometimes doesn't matter what's on, just as long as it's on in the background while I do something else.
This is how you and I are. I tend to watch a lot of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
and listen to a lot of different podcasts. So usually I just do that.
Okay.
And play video games or watch
So
something
this
else.
shouldn't affect you that much.
No, but this is my point. Not everybody's like me.
So why are you so indignant?
Because I shouldn't have to owe you
Why are we talking like this?
Because I shouldn't have to owe you $3 more a month because you have to put ads on your site because every one of you fucking streamers is nickeling and diming me.
All right.
Which is why I'm trying to get at is like I'll have like 3 or 4 apps
I agree.
and that's it.
I agree. But I just think it's
I can
funny.
read a book, read a fucking comic
I'm
book.
just playing devil's capitalist.
Yes.
I mean advocate.
So my point is that where it's like you're not as valuable as you think you are streaming services because
No,
guess
you're
what?
not.
Humans have been bored for thousands and thousands of years and we will find ways to entertain ourselves. So when you want to add another you want to try and put more fucking ads in my paid services.
Hey, just to let you know, overlords of capitalism, if you tried to like punish us by like putting us like in a room naked with nothing, we can still masturbate. So
Sloppy.
just letting you know.
Tyler, let's
Hey, I'm just saying.
let's
Okay? I'm
I
bored.
want them to know.
I'm bored. I guess I'm gonna masturbate again.
Dude, 2 weeks in a row masturbation jokes. Wow.
Who said I was joking?
Anyway, so let's talk about what if.
Yes.
So
let's.
what if
Let me start off.
releasing an episode every day
Which is
until
great.
December 30th? I love it. Started on Friday.
So can I start this off?
Fuck you. How's that? Go ahead. Great. You know what I thought about on the YouTube channel? I'm gonna have to beep that part out because that'll be like the beginning part of this segment. By the way,
Well, whose fucking fault was that? Here's another one you gotta fucking beep out.
well, it's only the first 30 seconds. By the
You
way,
know how long
by
30
the-
seconds is?
Hey, by the way, if you're already here, thank you. But if you're listening just to the podcast, youtube.com/@offpanel-off-topic. Check it out.
Yeah, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Get us to 500 subscribers. All right. So let's talk about what if.
So let's talk about what if. First things first is that if you're talking about sheer entertainment,
real quick.
point of order.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I want to quickly say, we're going to break down we're going to do like an
I just-
overview
I
of
wanna-
our thoughts and
I
then do
wanna-
like a quick rundown of each
I
episode.
want to talk about why. I want to talk about my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk
Overall
about
thoughts.
the whole overall right now.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you.
You fucking broken my train here. Okay.
Swing the web.
So, shut up. So as sheer entertainment, these 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2 thus far of, great. While I'm making my point, let's fuck with the thing. Dick. So in terms of sheer entertainment, these shows are great. I love the animation style. I love the chances that they're taking, all that stuff. But my overall ultimate thing about What If, and it has been since last year, is what are we doing here? And let's look at the comics. Why did the first? Because when I was growing up, the What If that I remember very fondly is Volume 2, which came out in the 90s, and that had stuff like what if Steve Rogers had refused to stop being Captain America? Very dark. He ends up getting murdered by fucking Henry Peter Gyrich of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay? What if Daredevil had killed the Kingpin? During the famous Born Again Frank Miller storyline, Kingpin takes everything from Daredevil. He takes his job. He gets rid of Karen Page. He takes his home.
identity.
Everything, right? And Daredevil, at the end of his rope, goes to Kingpin, and while he goes through security, he grabs one of their guns, one of the security guards' guns, because they don't know he's Daredevil. They just think he's some blind homeless dude. And Kingpin has orders to let him through. So he steals the gun and he points it at Kingpin, and Kingpin just laughs at him and beats the fucking shit out of him. And that is the lowest. He basically he defeats Daredevil so to the core. Beats the shit out of him. But in this storyline, in the What If that I read, he actually kills Kingpin. And it's a really dark storyline. And in that storyline, Karen Page, instead of getting clean, she ends up dying from a heroin overdose. So I really liked all the dark shit that these artists and writers would take these scenes or these moments from Marvel Comics and be like, hey, what if this? And what was the original What If? It was writers, readers writing in to be like, hey, why did you guys kill Gwen Stacy? Why couldn't you let her live? Hey, why did Jean Grey have to die? Hey, why did this happen? Why did that happen? All this stuff. And somebody really smart at Marvel Comics was like, idea for a comic book. Why don't we take all these readers' questions and these letters about these monumental Marvel moments? Do you like that alliteration?
Yeah,
Thank you, Stanley. Monumental Marvel moments. Ah, come on! I never accidentally alliterate. There you go. And let's take all these monumental Marvel moments and write stories about what would have happened if the readers had their way. Almost was the point of the original comic, right? So
Yeah.
okay, base that. So then this show should be the what if of all of the audience of the MCU going, hey, why did this happen instead of this? And I have to be fucking honest. None of these fucking shows or episodes are answering questions that anybody asked, let alone me, or that I need the fucking answer to.
Yeah, but
what if zombies? That's not a fucking question. That's not a question. What if zombies? Let's just do... Zombies is so popular. Let's just do Marvel Zombies, and here's an excuse to do it. I fucking don't care, and none of the episodes this season so far mean anything to
That's
me.
the point, though.
Except for the end of it. You're right.
That's
In-
always, but I think that's the
Your
difference.
your counterpoint makes sense in the context of the fact that it doesn't matter. That's the point of the show, is that
Yeah.
it's a way to be like, it's an Elseworlds for the MCU, which is cool. But now you're bringing shit into the actual MCU, these characters and stuff. So now it's not so much an Elseworlds. And with the multiverse, let's be honest, you've fucked up your entire ability to have any sort of foreshadowing or any sort of really incredible moments that happen, like a character's death means nothing anymore in the MCU. Why? Because you can always go back before that person died in the multiversal timeline and grab them again in case you need them ever again, right? Like Tony Stark, they have a door for Robert Downey Jr. to come back into the MCU any fucking time they want, which is fine, but because of that, his death in Infinity War or Endgame means nothing to me because I know it's not real and I know it's not final. And that is what comics have always had an issue with. And now the MCU has opened a door that, while entertaining and a room full of possibilities that you didn't have before, it also severely limits how much you can affect me emotionally.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but that's your shitty opinion. No, just kidding.
You're lucky I don't do spit takes, motherfucker.
No, but I think that I had my own issues with how season 1 ended, where they made it like multiverse Avengers kind of thing.
And they have another episode like that in this one.
Which I understand your concern, but
Winter Soldier, give me Red Guardian. What the fuck are you doing? Winter Soldier would have been the Avenger. Shut up,
dude,
what?
I liked that episode.
What?
88 Avengers was fun. You didn't like that episode?
No,
Did you
I
like
hated it.
anything?
I fucking hated it.
You didn't like T'Chaka or T'Chaka?
I liked most
what was
of it.
T'Challa's dad's name?
T'Chaka.
It is T'Chaka?
Yes, I like most of it. I just, like I said, your idea when you're talking about 1988. By the way, a guy who's nobody's supposed to know about, the Winter Soldier. How do you know he's the world's greatest assassin? What's his dad's name? Mr. Stark. His dad's name.
Howard.
How the fuck do you know Howard? Oh, I'm in S.H.I.E.L.D. Ah, fuck off, man. How do you know?
I
who
just
the
don't
fucking
get how
Red-
you can't have fun with it. I just don't get it.
Give me Red Guardian.
Who cares?
What do you...
Why don't you calm down? Because I feel the opposite of you. I am thoroughly enjoying this season. I'm enjoying it more than the first season.
I enjoyed the
Cooper.
Are you watching this?
Yeah, he's backing that thing up. Scratch his butt. Come on. He's like twerking on you.
That was bizarre.
He's never done that. He does it all the time.
I've been
He's twerk-
enjoying this season. I'm not saying I haven't. I'm just saying like
Sounds like you aren't.
I'm trying to tell you that there's a reason for the original What If comic. What was it designed to do?
Yeah, but over
It
the
was
years,
just-
it's changed.
Has it?
Dude, there was a series about there was a what if of Peter Parker turning into Sheep Boy because he got bit by a radioactive sheep.
That's What the. That's a different comic.
No, it's
yes.
not.
What the was the
No.
humor magazine? Yes.
No,
Yes, I think you're.
no. I'm not gonna look it up because I don't want to be wrong. If I'm
I
wrong,
know you're wrong because there was a What the, which was a humor
Oh,
magazine.
how about fuck off? Is that what? Can I name that one?
What the fuck? From Marvel Comics.
We're out of ideas. But
That's all I'm saying.
okay, I think no, but what I have a totally different perspective on it because I always viewed this stuff as here's this interesting take for these characters. Here's an opportunity for a certain actor to get to play this character again, or a certain different angle on the character. And I do like that they went with this route of basing it in the MCU and telling us different stories. I have
You kinda had to
I got
this way,
and
which is cool.
And I got to disagree with you. I like the idea of a 1988 Avengers, and
I do too, but you did it wrong.
the Winter Soldier thing. I don't care.
Come on,
I don't
he's
care.
he's the only dude who doesn't have powers in the whole fucking bunch, and he's in a jet.
I love the fact that we got Lawrence Fishburne back as
So do I.
the what was his name?
Giant Man,
Well,
Bill
yes,
Foster.
That John, Bill Foster.
Goliath. Listen, you're not hearing me. I loved that episode. I fucking hated the artistic choice.
Kurt Russell came back too.
Oh wow.
What's the issue with it then?
With that one?
Yeah. The Winter Soldier.
Also,
that's really the only
almost
thing.
every What If has had like a happy ending. Most of the What
Dude,
If.
the first season was dark. There were so many bad endings in the first
What,
one.
like?
Fucking Doctor Strange.
Right, but
when-
by the way, the whole episode where Hank Pym kills all the Avengers, fuck off.
yeah, I'm not saying like I think overall this is a better season than the first season. I'm enjoying more episodes of this season. I just don't understand why you're so what you're mad about.
I'm not mad. I am disappointed that they're not more in the spirit of the original. And now I sound like assholes who are like, "Oh, Miles Morales isn't the you know what I mean, no, the spirit of the original." Like,
It's not what you were expecting. It's not what you necessarily
I
thought it was gonna be.
will say this: the animation style is awesome. I love that they've gotten a lot of the original actors to voice those characters again. That tells me that that gives it a legitimacy to the cartoons that is a little more, it lends a legitimacy to it.
So what I liked about this season is they're doing more of like styles, like they're doing more genre stuff. Whereas like Nebula, the first episode, Nebula joins
Blade
the
Runner.
Nova Corps, very much like Blade Runner, cyberpunk style.
Also, nobody asked why Nebula didn't join the Nova. How come Nebula didn't join the Nova Corps?
See, again,
Nobody
I
fucking
don't
asked.
understand. Who
Nobody
cares?
fucking asked.
Who cares?
No.
This is their opportunity to do weird shit in the
care.
MCU that
Fuck
they couldn't
you.
get away with in the movies.
I know.
So then, yeah, episode
Fair.
2 was Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest Avengers, so it was 88 Avengers, which was fun and awesome, and I dug it, but you're a bitch. We had the original Captain Marvel is joining the Avengers. But see, what I think was cool about this is it almost could work in the main
What do you
MCU.
mean Marvel joining the Avengers? What?
the lady from Captain Marvel. She was supposed to be Marvel.
Oh, Marvel. I thought
said
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah. I honestly was thinking of the blonde dude from the comics.
Yeah, they made him a woman. They fucking woked it. They took an egg and they woked it. They cracked it and woked it.
Thanks a lot.
Episode 3 is Die Hard. It's Happy Hogan Saves Christmas, which I like.
Watch that one today. Again, what are we doing?
It's fun. First of all, I was saying it the whole episode to my wife. And it's not just because I have a man crush on Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell's great.
He's an amazing actor. Dude, he came back to be Justin Hammer, and I've been saying for a long time, bring him back.
Yeah.
And I think...
The only good part about Iron Man 2.
Here, hear me out. Put your tinfoil hat on. Hear me out. They brought him back for this episode of What If to gain interest from people to see if they want to see Justin Hammer come back, because I think he's going to be the main bad guy in Armor Wars. Or he's going to have some involvement in Armor Wars.
He should.
He should, because
he did in the original.
keep in mind, it's also going to be a movie now and not a show, so you could very well get Sam Rockwell to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might be something. That's what I took away from this. I mean, it's a very silly, it's very their take on Die Hard.
It is. There are a lot of funny, interesting moments.
But I will say, what are we doing? Can we just, with Kat Dennings' Darcy character, can we pick a fucking lane in what her personality is? Because how can she be an intern for in Thor for what they're doing in that with
Yeah, but they make a joke about it. Have you ever had a paying job? Nope.
But why do they make her seem so smart but then so dumb? I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. I think they make her character like weirdly silly in this, and
I don't mind it.
know.
I mean, it's true to the character, I guess.
I just feel like she was so much better in WandaVision. I think her, and again,
Yeah.
you know what? That's not, it's a multiverse, I guess. So we had, but like it seems like in the first two Thor movies, she was clearly the over the top, really smart but kind of silly sidekick, comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of that too in WandaVision, but she adds more depth to the character. And then we go back to this. I don't know. I just feel like her character's. I have mixed feelings about Darcy. They do weird things with that character.
Sorry.
Really like that episode. Episode 4, What If Iron Man Crashed into the Grandmaster? This one is really out there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it works in a way. I don't
Do you
know
remember when Oblivion came out and I was going to
Cruise?
put two
your album.
I was going to put two covers on it. And then I realized how fucking difficult that would have been with the legalities and the fees and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck it. Hey, you have that McDouble Trouble and then also that remix you did of one of my songs. Can I just borrow those? It feels like this year already we've had a filler episode because you made this one for last season, but it wasn't good enough for last season.
And they took that and added it to this storyline.
Unless they redid it for this season, like if whatever problems existed that they didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, say you had the episode, but there were issues with the episode.
I don't know why they cut Gamora's episode from last season. I don't know why they did that.
And it's not really Gamora's episode. It's fucking Tony Stark's.
They just kind of tacked that storyline.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was awesome.
Again,
It was fun.
I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, if you just accept that this is the MCU doing genre shit, so we're gonna do a Mario Kart Death Race style fucking episode with Tony Stark.
I agree. I think we're both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But from different sides of the fence.
Because you didn't think it was cool when he made that car out of when he used his Iron Man armor to make that fucking race car. That was pretty cool.
Dude, most of that was awesome. Like,
and then when he lands and he fucking turns back into Iron Man.
It's not that
Come
I
on.
didn't enjoy it. It's just, again, when you're thinking about like what the MCU has meant to this point, I love that Jeffrey Wright is the Watcher. He's got the perfect voice for it and everything. I love the intro every week. I never skip the intro because it's just when they have the eye and they move out and it's I am the Watcher. And that music is like, doo, 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 the horns and shit. It's really epic. Even if the episode ends up sucking ass, I still got to see the intro.
So by the time this goes live, episode 7 will be up, and that is going to be Cate Blanchett reprising her role as Hela.
That'll be fun.
And I think it's her and the Mandarin are teaming up.
Should we talk about the one we saw today? And
the one that came out on Wednesday, yes.
Well, basically, the fact that proves that all the grifters are grifters and don't really believe what they believe. Because if they truly believed in stuff that was woke and fighting back against that shit, they'd be all over the fucking internet about this episode. But they don't really care because it's not making them money.
Well, let's just do a quick search here. But I think you're right, because I haven't seen...
I
see a lot of the grifter shit on my Twitter.
Well, your notifications are way different than mine, so you should have seen But
yeah.
in
But
the
so the
interest of
episode
fairness,
we're call-
we're gonna.
it- it's
called "What if Kahori
Kahori.
reshaped the world?"
Which, okay, so this is where you can get on board with this show, right? And where I really liked is, okay, let's take this multiverse concept and use it to create a totally original new character.
They've done that in
this.
that Strike Force game. They've created at least 2 new characters.
And Agent Coulson is a character that was an original MCU, so they've done it in the past.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a cool idea to use that concept and do it.
Shit, Darcy's an MCU character. Speaking of Darcy,
Is she?
yeah, she's not from the comics. No,
Oh, okay.
not even. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any Grifter episodes, any
Now,
Grifter videos on it as I'm scrolling through.
Before we talk, we don't need to talk about this episode because we just don't. You can watch it. All I want to say is, based on that ending, okay. I mean, that is clearly a fucking like an attack on colonialism. It's an attack on the Spanish invasion of the New World. It's literally saying. It's almost saying this is the way we would have liked it to happen instead.
What I like about this is the same thing that I loved about
How much more woke can you get than that? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Which is funny because they attack something like Prey
Yes.
for being like
yes.
woke and shit. I'm like, so is this. This is
even worse. Because she takes it to the fucking Spaniards.
they fucking slaughter them.
Yeah. She takes it to Queen Isabella and is like, hey, I'm going to take your
I'm
throne,
gonna
bitch.
fucking kill you and then destroy if you cross me, and then destroys her throne. Like,
Well, no, she says, like, she
we
has
will
very-
find peace.
No, she has socialist, like, listen, your health is as
our
important
health,
as means our health. That's a hugely socialistic idea, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
she destroys the throne to
and
symbolize,
you know what
like, yeah.
pisses me off is that it makes a lot of sense to me. But you could find, you could walk out on the street in any busy city, and 10 people, the first 10 people you ask, hey, what about this? They'd be like, fuck that shit. No, that's socialism and shit. And they don't even know that that's better for us as a society because they've been fucking brainwashed since birth into capitalism. And I don't care what anybody says about me saying this because fuck capitalism.
We've already
dude.
said that once this episode.
I'm just saying.
Um,
It pisses me off.
I think this is the best episode of the season so far.
Our episode right now?
No, I'm talking
Oh.
about Kahori, right?
Kahori.
Kahori reshaped the world. I think that's the best episode of the season. And that's saying a lot for me because I've enjoyed every episode that I've watched.
Yeah, it's been okay.
But no, it took chances, and I will always appreciate them doing something. But the ending does frustrate me a little bit with like evil Doctor Strange showing up.
Thank you. Right. Yeah,
It's
you
like,
couldn't just,
stop it.
Thank you.
Don't. I agree. I think the Guardians of the
I'm all
Multiverse
pointing at you and shit.
or whatever they called it, I think it sucks because I don't want this shit. If you're gonna do this, don't make it interconnected in any way. I don't want a fucking parallel MCU. The whole appeal of this to me is playing in that world and using that world that you've already spent years building up and do weird shit and do different things and create a character that works in this context. Like, I don't know, man. I think
No, I hear you.
that was the one thing where I'm like, really? Because I don't care about Heartless Doctor Strange or Evil whatever they want to call him. I don't care. I just don't.
Yeah, who told them that this is a character we want to explore?
And again,
more?
I want to bring back season 1. That was my biggest complaint, that the last 3 episodes of that season were connected. I was like, fuck that. I already have that with everything else. Well, your 6
All right, is it
fucking...
Alarm Box?
No. I'm not done.
Ew, fuck you.
Now I'm done.
It's a long box.
All right, Tyler. I'll go first.
Okay. What are you doing?
I want to talk about the Amazon, as much as I bitched about Amazon Prime earlier in the show. I want to talk about the Amazon Prime original, created by Greg Daniels. You may know him from King of the Hill, The Office,
Yeah, what is
Parks
it?
and Rec. It's called Upload.
Oh, I didn't know that was Greg Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it is kind of against his usual type, but I think didn't he work on The Good Place?
I believe so.
Yeah, so he's been doing more like high concept comedy. So yeah, Upload is a story about like in the future, in like 2033. The whole idea is that when you die, you upload your consciousness to this digital like afterlife. And so, but it's owned by this company called Horizon, and it's such an interesting show about death. It's an interesting show about what the afterlife could be. What can we live in a world like that where it's digital? But then it also very much criticizes capitalism, because there's a whole. So they have these like humans that work in customer service that they call angels. So whenever they need something, they go angel, and they will either they'll say it over their voice, or they have like a VR headset, so they'll have like a digital avatar. And so they kind of guide the uploads around and like show them how the world works. But like what's funny is they eat and they sleep and they do things like they would if they were alive, even though they're dead. Because everybody that's been uploaded is dead.
Yeah.
You can't upload a dead body because there's no consciousness there.
Right.
But the whole process is like it's. I don't want to spoil things for you if you do want to watch it, but Ashley and I started watching it over the weekend, and like we've binged through the first episode. So there's 3 seasons. So we're getting ready to start season 2. There's a whole thing about
You
like
binged through the first season.
yes,
I think you said episode, and I was like, wow.
yeah, it was 10 episodes. So.
Man, we watched the first episode, and it like that.
Yeah, no, I'd heard about it for a while, but I'd never.
I'd heard about it a while back, I think, but I can't. And it looked interesting to me. Obviously, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, and like it's a good satire on capitalism. Like they eat and things, but like if you want to eat certain things, you still have to pay for it. So like it's like a commentary on like we were just talking about with Prime itself, with how capitalism will constantly nickel and dime you, give you a bunch of stuff that's cool, that's free. But then the stuff that you like really would want, we're gonna charge you for that. We're gonna keep charging. And so like the idea that you're still dead, but you're still paying for things. And it's just it's an interesting show. And has a lot more depth to it. It's what? But I recommend it. You gave me a funny look.
I was looking at. No, I wasn't looking at you.
You got something to
Sorry.
say to me, you
Yeah,
bastard?
fuck you.
Also, shout out to Robbie Amell. Like, he's really good in this. She's the lead in this.
Huh?
Robbie Amell. People that know things know who I'm talking about.
Not you bastard.
Yeah, but
That's cool.
it's an interesting thing on
I'm gonna have to check it out.
science, like death and technology.
Because I actually
and-
have Prime for now.
Yeah, watch this.
Well, here's the other thing too: is I watch a lot of shit on Freevee, which is
Yeah.
a part of Prime. So
Now Freevee, I don't mind ads because it's free.
it says it,
V,
but it says it. Freevee, free with ads. Like it says it
we
in
get
the,
it. Yeah. No, yeah, I recommend Upload if you have Amazon Prime. Check it out.
So my long box this week is L.A. Law. When I was a little
La
kid,
la.
la 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 la.
That better be the theme.
It kind of is. La 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 la.
LA Law.
L.A. Law. Cha 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 cha. Sibilance. Driving down Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, yeah.
Practicing the law. Okay, so. Sorry. So. These are called technical difficulties.
I got
So-
the gigs.
Yeah, I got the gigs. So, because I couldn't believe I just busted out that stupid ass theme song. Okay, so when I was a little kid and I was growing up, my parents watched like it's called Knots Landing and Dallas And there was a lot of like adult soap operas. They still do have them like today, but they were on prime time, and they were usually like 8 to 10 p.m. Usually after I was asleep until I was about a teenager, and I would stay up later and whatnot. And I would start watching these shows with my parents, like St. Elsewhere, Hill Street Blues, and L.A. Law, and I would get part of these shows, but I wouldn't get some of the shows because I wasn't an adult. And there are aspects of these shows, just like Cheers that I love, which is a comedy. There were aspects of that show that, even though it was more accessible to me as a kid because it was funny, there were still parts of it that I didn't get because I wasn't an adult. I didn't have that frame of reference or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this show I liked enough to want to, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer when I grew up, which, fuck that. I'm really glad I didn't become a lawyer because I would not have been a good lawyer, I don't think. But this show was one of the first to, kind of like how Top Gun made everybody want to join the Air Force or the Navy, I guess. L.A. Law resulted in, just massive upswings of people, applying for law school and shit and trying to be lawyers. It turned the entire country into it was a huge cultural milestone for this country at the time it came out in 1986, and it touched on a lot of issues of the time that were kind of taboo, like AIDS, homosexuality, I'm trying to remember all the other things, homelessness. The Rodney King riots actually happened while the show was going on, so they actually dramatized that. Racism, another thing that they dealt with, but they dealt with it in such a way that I started watching it knowing that I'd seen this and knowing, okay, maybe I'm not going to watch this because it's an hour-long drama. I don't do as good with those. I'm more of a half-an-hour comedy guy if I'm binging something.
Yeah.
If that makes
I would
sense.
say I'm probably in the same boat.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, I will if it's really good. Like, the Daredevil show was like, almost an hour. I binge that because it's so good,
Mm-hmm.
But L.A. Law, to me, I started watching. I'm like, I kind of know how this goes. I kind of had an expectation of how it was going to go because I've seen it when I was a kid, whatever. Hadn't seen it since then. I started watching it, and the next day I was at work, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to get home to see how this storyline wrapped up. And it was weird. Like when I get home from work or whatever, my first thing is, I'm going to put on and finish that episode of L.A. Law. And I haven't made out of season 1 yet. I'm probably on episode 9. And I started watching it like 4 days ago. But I think I might watch the entire series. And it's compelling. The writing is really, really good. They deal with some of these subject matters in a very humane way. I mean, a lot of great actors who got their start on this show. Alfre Woodard shows up in the first episode ever, and she's super young. You're like, wow, like way back when she started. And of course, Corbin Burnson's in it.
I don't know who that is.
You fucking don't know who fucking Corbin Burnson is? You better fucking know.
I didn't know you were a... What was the name again?
Doesn't matter.
Tyler, you had something you want to say about Legos?
Yeah, if you turn that stupid fucking music off. that I wrote.
Why did you go southern? Turn that stupid music
Fucking
off.
music off. Recently,
Do you want me to turn the music off?
I do, just for now. Recently, there's been a lot of the X-Men '97 show coming out on Disney Plus, and there's been a lot of products that have been coming back, at least that I can see in the toy section, that are kind of jumping on this X-Men '97 wagon, right? And one of them is a set that was 339 pieces, about the size of a $40 to $50 set, and it is an X-Men, the Blackbird, and it comes with a Magneto, a Wolverine, a Rogue, and a Cyclops, which is cool, except for we already have a Cyclops, We have way more Wolverines than we need, and we already have a fucking Magneto. So Rogue is the only one in this set that we're getting that we've never seen before. And do you know how much the fuck faces at Legos decided to charge for this fucking set that's 339 pieces and comes with 4 minifigures? $85. $85 for a set that should be $50. Shame on you, Lego.
Are you sure it wasn't?
$1 million, bitch.
I'm saying, dude, Lego's always talking about how they're one of these corporations that is, that is above the capitalist, we need to make money and everything. We're trying to bring the world together and stuff. But Lego, fuck you. Because you're a lying motherfucker. You're doing just like every other corporation is. Your fucking bottom line is the almighty dollar and fuck everything else. How dare you put out a fucking set that should be no more than $40 or $50 for $85? I grant you that maybe you see that the audience for this particular set is older, has their own jobs and all that stuff. But what if there is a little kid who wants a set and their parents, maybe got a single mom or something like that? No fucking way are they going to afford that $85 thing, okay? How dare you? How dare you not make more affordable sets with better minifigures that we don't have? We don't need any more Captain Americas. We don't need any more Iron Mans. We don't need any more Thors. And if I see one more fucking Wolverine minifigure, I swear to God, I'll scream. Give me a Gambit. Christ.
You know what you'll say?
Ew, fuck you. Do it again.
Louder.
Ew, fuck you. And one more.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Episode 129 coming to a close.
Just saying, Lego, you need to look your accountants in the face and go, you need to fucking figure out a way for us to make money without fucking the consumer in the ass.
See what happens if you find a stranger in the Alps? That's what I was. That's what
Right in the Alps.
Ash Alps.
Hey, I was walking down the street the other day and this construction worker was like, hey, nice Alps.
You went so far for that joke, man. Well,
The weird thing was I was wearing a skirt at the time. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.